things of history that matter are, how did I get where I am today? What were the things that were so pivotal that I was involved in that it made such a difference? My mother, she worked in a sweatshop, stitching, all day, when in fact she was a designer. They would bring these barrels of cloth and then she would just stitch and stitch. Well, she was so fast, she would do it and would be done and she'd get bored. So she would make, out of the scraps that weren't being used, she would make pot holders. But they were going to fire her because she was doing this work, that she was pregnant with my brother. And she had to bind herself so that nobody knew she was pregnant because she would lose her job. A woman had to bind herself so that she didn't look pregnant for months. She was denied the right to be who she was, and she did not want that to happen to me. So I called up my girlfriend and said, I'm going to California, you want to go? She said, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I drove to White Plains, I picked up Hilly, we drove to Rochester, we hit Los Angeles, and ended up in San Francisco. We have no apartment. We're living in a hotel. We got there on a Saturday, and on Monday we were at work. To me, it was a bold step because in my culture, the girls did not leave, and I did. And it was important for me, part of who I was and what I wanted to be. So it was this magical time. I like to bring joy to people's life. If there is a way that I can do that through nursing, then I love what I do. I had an opportunity to work with a young adolescent patient, and he had shared with me some really important information. I made this statement to the psychiatrist and shared with him the story, and everybody on the whole team said, oh my goodness, we really need to change our care plan so that it fit more with what this young man had disclosed to me. I then, from my supervisor, was told to come out of the room, and I was told never to talk to a doctor like that again. I had no idea what that meant. Of course, I was going to share what I knew about the patient. I had knowledge of the patient, and her response to me was, just stay there and listen to the doctors and do what the doctor says. So in 1966, a variety of us got together. We initiated dialogue, which turned into a very massive collective action by all the nurses in the state of California. I'm proud to say that many of the changes we're seeing in nursing today started the day that those of us said, enough. Enough is enough. Today will be different than yesterday, and tomorrow will be different than today. And embracing that beautiful opportunity to see and do and be something different is sort of the cornerstone of what I believe is about development and about growth. The lessons of the past are critical to our knowledge, critical to helping us see what worked and what didn't work, but not to keep the past so structured that you can't see the future. We finally got to a point where we had rights and privileges and equity, and here we are now. It's being rolled back. The 1886 ruling in, I think it was Arizona. How is that possible in this day and age to even consider that? In nursing, we're primarily female occupation. We had our own issues because we were viewed as a lesser player. The work we do in nursing is what gets somebody, a patient, out the door and in the best condition they can to go home. You are not less than, and the messaging has to be different about women. You may know that the Star-Spangled Banner is a part of our national history and that's our anthem, but if you don't know the words to the song, you can't sing it. When you don't know the words to the song, you hum it or you make things up. I'm very concerned in nursing that we're humming and making things up when in fact we actually have a song. The American Nurses Association is the professional association for setting the standard of practice in the United States. We have a social policy statement. We have scope and standards. So the words to the nursing song are already written. We just need to learn to sing it better.